changing. What happened to the good times and happily ever after? The circumstances leave taking chances. What became of the good you've done and all the endless laughter? Better get up, push aside the dirt and dust off the cobwebs. Gotta give it a try. Better get up, can't keep you down. Turn up the heat and turn your life around. You better get up, get up, get up.
All right, we're testing some stuff out here. Look at it, moving microphones around. Check that out. You can't even see it. All right, it's invisible. I like it. All right, welcome to our test for Danceparty.com. We're also featuring it on my personal page on Facebook because this is where I started most of my podcasts. So we've got a variety of them, but this is about Dance Party. Dance Party based out of, well, the idea of what I've been doing most of my life, and that is being a disc jockey and knowing literally hundreds and hundreds of DJs all over the techno capital of the world, Detroit and beyond, Chicago, New York, Vegas, Miami, the list goes on. And of course, globally around the world. And that's what I always wanted and intended for a website that we're actually rebuilding right now called danceparty.com, which I put together back in 1996 or 7. Anyway, almost 30 years ago, and that dates me. But anyway, I'm going to bring on a friend of mine real quick because I know he's impatient. He's very impatient, but he's also part of the Detroit dance scene, not as a DJ, not as a producer, artist, or anything like that, but just as like the ultimate fan. And he's been doing it for a long time. In fact, he lives right down in Detroit, right in the heart of the Motor City, not like in the suburbs like me. I'm 20 miles away. And even though I've been everywhere and done a lot of cool things, Detroit is the hub. And, you know, I was there at the beginning with a lot of DJs from every background. We'll talk about that. We'll deep dive in that in a minute. Now, I got to fair warn you a little bit about Vinny. He's very animated. He's very energetic and enthusiastic. So if I ask him a question, he might cut me off in mid-flight, and I just let him run like a runaway freight train. He's fun like that. He's super funny. He's outgoing, and he knows a lot of clubs and venues that I have not been part of. I've heard of. I actually help promote, but I've never actually been inside some of these venues. So we're going to talk about the movement this past weekend and Memorial Day weekend 2025. And are you ready, Vinny? I'm going to bring you on. Big shot, Vince, everybody.
Yes, I almost laughed when you said it. He's all over the place.
No, but you know, it's good to know this way because I do know you. We do talk all the time. That right. I figured we would be just kind of, you know, going in that direction. And I know you're gonna, you know, you've been everywhere down there in the last several weeks, if not months, because you moved down into the Motor City downtown. Right.
We're actually live outside.
Oh, are you?
In downtown, right? We're outside, right? See, it's Detroit. You can't get any more Detroit than this, right?
No, you can't. You can't. Well, that's cool. It's really cool. Yeah. So I want to, you know, let people know that, you know, I do broadcast it on there because I do know a lot of DJs in my past that are on my personal page. Probably won't see this till later. The good thing about it is we do broadcast it later, nonstop in a loop, and then we're going to slice it and dice it. And as the days, weeks, and months permit, we're going to be putting it on even more social platforms. Like right now, we're not on Spotify, we're not on TikTok. But the beautiful thing about the program that I use and have been using for the last 3-4 years, they keep updating, upgrading, adding AI, background suppressors. I'll take this whole video apart no matter how long it is, 10 minutes, 2 hours, and they'll slice and dice and label it like within minutes. And then we can tag and place and hashtag and everything.
And I'm showing everyone else it's easy enough. I literally put my phone on. He sent me a link. Anyone can interview anyone. You don't have to be with him. You could, but any kind of, if you have a smartphone, you could be interviewed.
Thank you. And you are on your smartphone, aren't you?
Right. Because I didn't know how my computer quality was going to be. So you can't go wrong with a smartphone.
It's funny because I'm you know, on my own particular, for the longest time, I've been doing this remote from my laptop and a, you know, good computer camera. I'm always changing them, adding them. You know, I have a 4K camera, but we're only we're only broadcasting in 1080 DPI, which is pretty good. I mean, for the longest time, we were doing it in 720 or less, which is standard on most Netflix, not Netflix, YouTube and Facebook. And so, 4K, it really brings it down. We have to have a high power. And most people aren't watching it on that quality anyway, as long as you can see and hear us pretty well. And I think you can. Like right now, this logo behind me is actually a green screen. And that's one of our older logos. We've got a newer logo. We love making logos for some reason. And the whole time that Dance Party's been together, I've paid people enormous amounts of money, spent weeks, if not months, waiting for the new Dance Party logo. And the thing that I was never able to do, even 20 years ago, even if I had $1 million in hardware and a very sophisticated team, was to broadcast it in the quality that now exists later with far less money, which allows us to do what, like he said, Vinny said, be able to do it from your phone, your tablet, your computer. I can be sitting right next to him downtown. He's about 20 miles south of me, right downtown. I'm in Troy, which is a metropolitan suburb. I'm in the studio. And so, that's one of the ways we can do it. So if you are listening, and we will be able to show and share this later with people that might be wondering like how and what we're doing. And the good thing about it is that we share it with your audience. So let's say you're a DJ that has 300 or 3,000 plus people watching any of your social media streams. And even if it's not on Facebook, let's say it's Instagram, we're recording this and we're able to share its whole in entirety or even pieces of it. You can do whatever you want, slice it at will. Just keep re-looping it and sharing it. And years from now, it'll be a souvenir for you. Go, wow, that was me, back in 2025. But it also can promote what you do, what you've done. We want to tell your story. We want to, ask you how you begun, where you began. I was in my dad's basement. We were, I was making my mom crazy. I was in, a friend's house. We were putting beats together. I played here. I played there. My goal is to do this and that. Anything that you can add, anything you want. Go ahead, Vinny.
Well, all we're here to do is to highlight you and highlight other people around the area and the venues that you go to, Like you don't see the behind the scenes once in a while. We want to get to know everyone around the area. You come out to these events and you just go, and then you don't know anything else. You come and go.
Absolutely. Because we have another show, just to give you a couple ideas of what we're doing, and we haven't even launched some of them yet. I had a show in Nashville called Nash Talk. As a songwriter, I write music, words, everything. I use Ableton. DJs would know that. But you can also use it for live recording, whether you play piano or any instrument or a rock, country band, anything. You can also make the best EDM, techno, club music in the world with it. And I decided when I was down there, I said, you know what? I'm meeting people that were on American Idol, The Voice, people that were with the National Songwriting Association, some people that played with some of the biggest bands, past and present, ever on the planet. And I was able to sit down with them and become friends with them by interviewing them at length. We would talk. Well, I don't know. I got like 10 minutes to talk to you. Okay, great. The next thing you know, 2 hours later, I'm like, hey, we got to calm down and, whatever. No, and I actually never cut anybody off unless it was like, 3 hours long. And we've even had a couple of 3-hour sessions. But it's nice because you can go back and take out the things that you really like and look at yourself and go, wow, this is what I'm about. And, not everybody, whether you're a DJ, very talented, singer, songwriter, artist, producer, for any of the genres, just like on this.
Even if you're hosting an event, even if you're hosting
somebody local.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Are you there? I heard backlash.
You're still there.
Even if you're hosting an event and you want to get spotlighted, like we want to know about what's going on. We want to hear from you, people. We want to hear from you. We're not trying to make millions off of you. We're trying to bring the community together and help each other out.
Yeah, and that's basically all the podcasts that we do. I know there's a million podcasts. Well aware of that. But what we want to do is really showcase it about you. It's not about me and what I've done, even though I've done what they're doing. It's about you. Like I said, Vinny here. He's a fan. He's a fan of the music. He's a fan of the DJ. He loves the festivals. He loves the party, and so that's the best part. We're like ketchup and mustard, so to speak. I've been on stages. I've done the behind the scenes stuff, and it's taken a life of its own many years later. And so we're just kind of getting back into our end of it, which is, hey, you know, there's somebody out there that might not have a forum to, you know, because when you're posting yourself, let's say on Instagram and TikTok, it's better, I think, and I believe this wholeheartedly, that it's more fun and more humbling if I interview you and ask you the questions
Right.
versus, you know, and hey, I'm the greatest DJ, hire me, or the greatest singer songwriter. Right? You know, and that's ego
Oh,
is
let's just go back. So, Chris, let's just
just
take this to another question. So, how did you get started in the music industry back in the day? Let's make it short and sweet. Little summary of your background first before we go into everyone else's background.
well, I was a kid that grew up in Detroit, and we had AM radio versus FM radio, which was stereo, and
Some of you people might
I
not
would
know what
listen
that is.
to stations like CKL. Well, it was that's how you guys used to listen to music before Pandora, Spotify, etc.
Mhm.
Streaming, and you know, and they still exist on, they still out there, but they would play all these different songs, Motown, rock and roll, mainstream top 40. So I loved all of it. The Beatles,
Right.
Michael Jackson, uh, you know, Read All Night, whatever was playing, you could party to it or dance to it. I loved it. And I would sit there and pretend I was a radio DJ when I was like 11, 12 years old. I'd go CKLW 800 AM, you know, party, sunny clouds, you know, sunny skies outside. And I was doing all that. And then when I was 14 years old, I moved out to Albuquerque, New Mexico for a year with my family for my dad's job. And I went to a very large school of almost 5,000 people. And they had a really popular AM radio station. And they were playing Earth, Wind, and Fire and all these
Well,
cool
AM.
songs.
They didn't have.
And
They
I
didn't
wanted
have.
to do
Wait, hold on. They didn't have FM back then. It was just AM.
it was just starting to happen. And so what
Okay.
happened? So what occurred was that I was like 14 years old, and I had been practicing for a long time, and I could sit there and go Earth, Wind, and Fire, September, and you know,
Wait,
whatever
hold
was
on a
out
second.
there.
When did they switch? When did AMs? When did FM channels start? Like when did they switch
Late
music channels to FM?
late 70s, probably
Okay,
like
late
after the,
70s.
yeah, like 76, 77.
Okay.
And it was really cool because the music sounded way better, just way better. And AM meant amplitude modulation. So like if you were like 10 or 20 miles from the actual radio station tower, that's how you could hear it. So if you drove 20 miles further, you couldn't hear it anymore. It would get real staticky. And they did news, and they would play sports teams like the Tigers. You could listen to those games, and you would sit and listen to it really carefully. Well, then FM, which is frequency modulation, it had a stronger stereo effect, so you could hear two different things.
Oh, so that's why they switched the music onto that frequency instead of keeping music on that on AM. They wanted all talk and everything else on AM.
Well, that was technology, and it cost a lot more money, and they would have to boost a lot of electricity through these towers.
Mhm.
That's why the 50,000 watt station, you know, FM, they used to brag about how much power, a ton of electricity to boost that signal and the quality of that sound that would fit in your car.
I had no idea what they meant by that. Now it makes sense to me. Thank you for the little history lesson right there.
You asked. So, you know, and what happened was then people started adding more things to their car. Then came along the 8-track. It was a big cassette thing. And then they made it smaller and made it a cassette. And then, you know, years later, we started adding CD, which was, you know, a little compact disc. That's what CD stands for. And it's basically a bunch of numbers just that translated music, and it sounded great. And now we're into the Bluetooth era. We're into the Bluetooth era where we don't even want to, we don't have to look
I'm here still. I don't see Chris.
You don't see me? I see you. I can see you fine. So anyway,
troubleshooting connection.
That's okay. I can still hear you. We can still see you, by the way. So you look bewildered, but that's okay. And that can happen when we do an interview. That's why, you know, the studio conditions are probably the best because they still have room for error, but not as much. And sometimes you'll get, you know, if you're sharing Wi-Fi or in a bad area, you might pick up some, you know, noise or what have you. And what happens is that for the most part, I've had some really successful, even in the worst conditions. I've done it from parking lots, rooftops, basements, you name it. And I can't even tell you. But it's always come out pretty good, and I'm glad I captured it. And I made friends out of anybody and everybody I've ever interviewed, which is a nice communal thing. And the other good part is that, again, you can take questions and comments live, and even when this stops recording, what happens is that you can see those questions, the person I interviewed, and as well as other people. And if you ask a question, let's say tomorrow or next week, there's a good shot that we can see it, that person can see it and answer that question later. So it's kind of a living thing where if you're on TV, for example, a nice local channel, and they're doing a 5-minute segment with you, maybe 10, most people can't interact with you. The audience can't interact with you. And we're here.
Right.
You can. And also,
so hold on, Chris. I lost you for a few minutes, so I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Oh, and the other thing is, we can put up comments. So like that from Mr. Positive Detroit.
Mr. Positive Detroit Radio. How's it going?
C-Note and Cutie Pie. Look at that. The legendary warrior, Mr. Positive Detroit Radio and National Radio and TV. So you never know who might pop in and be watching. It could be another DJ. It could be another club. It could be a promoter. It could be anybody. So that's the really cool thing. And when you share it, hopefully it boosts your image. It boosts your sales. It boosts your notoriety, everything out there. That's what our goal is to lift you up and promote you more. And hopefully this helps you out, and people have a lot of fun with it. And I know that.
Can you hear me, Chris? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What's it called? I lost you for like 2 minutes there, so I didn't know what you were talking about just now.
I was talking about how bad your hat looks.
Oh, okay.
No, it's cool. Detroit. You're a real Detroit fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I go to places where people wouldn't go.
I've got the Detroit D right here. See that right there. So anyway, in fact, that's what I wanted to do with this logo. I think that's what we got to work on. I want to put the Detroit D, even though we're global. This is a global community, and this is a grassroots thing. And like, no matter what, where we are today,
if you know,
we can broadcast this everywhere in the world. So this is
Tell them about maybe we'll be at that. There's a festival that we reached out to. Maybe we'll be there. Other things coming up.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Dennis,
if you have a venue, you have an event, you want us out there, we'll be there. You're a DJ, you want to just let us hear your stuff, we'll be there for you.
Right. Well, like, and we're going to keep adding. We're experimenting. I mean, I can admit to sharing this with you, that we use AI every single day to, ask questions that, if we reached out to 10 or 15 people out there, we would have to wait for the answer for maybe hours or days or even weeks. And it gives us the opportunity to keep going, okay, what else can we add? What else can we do?
Right.
And so we're just one link in the chain, and hopefully that we keep adding more things that make it look better, sound better, more content, more things to give away, more sponsor. If you're a sponsor or an advertiser.
Right. If you guys know anyone that's out there who wants to sponsor us, or know somebody that wants to be part of something, or know somebody that knows how to put a website together, please don't hesitate. Reach out to Chris or me. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, we do a lot. I mean, technically, I'm very hands-on when it comes to certain things. We're doing everything we can. We're always experimenting with new microphones, new this. Like, a lot of times I don't even use the headphones, but I'm using this special mixer. It's called a Rodecaster. It has all these sound effects. Hear that?
Oh, crickets. That's how we get sometimes. Nothing.
Yeah. I'll do that in the on-stage section.
Hey, can we call Mr. Positive? Would he talk to us right now? Live on the air?
Yeah, you know what? If he wants to. Oh, that's the other thing, too, by the way.
Can we get somebody to call in and talk to us for a second?
Yeah, and if you want to come in, we can even bring you on live or up to people at the same time. I don't like to bring up to 10 people. In fact, we have features.
No, that would be ridiculous.
Zoom, but I don't want to do that because it shrinks the screen. And
they do that for meetings. That's for meetings more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind bringing up to 4 people if we can, and we can alternate people as well. Again, we're capable of bringing at least 10 people on at the same time. But, always know that there's always going to be different quality factors. Like, Vinny is experiencing a little bit of technical issue, but he looks good now. Actually, we could see and hear you the whole time. So maybe it was.
Oh, could you? I could. Yours was buff. Yours was buff. So yours was buffering. Yours was buffering on my end for 2 minutes.
Said it 4 more times. Just kidding. But
Buffering.
the thing is that
hit me with the cricket again.
I turned it down.
Oh, yep.
Okay,
there we go.
There's my
Yep.
bedroom shot.
I'm used to that noise.
I'm just playing with the buttons over here. Those are new to me too as well. But so that's our kind of our dance party thing. We've got Dennis Cox hopefully coming on. He's a DJ from Detroit way back in the day at the Motor Lounge. He was one of the first DJs there. He has this thing called Tech Lido. I think it's called Tech Lido.
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce
Tech
it.
Lido.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's doing his own version of Movement, not the Movement. I get beat up for that. But when I'm trying to describe it to people, I always have to add the word "the." Right? Anyway, so that's my bad. But anyway, he is doing this thing on February. June.
February.
Is this?
We're in June. Wait, we're in June.
At some old notes right now, and I just got stuck. That's why I don't look down at the screen too much. But anyway, okay, no, it's June 21st.
21st, I think. Yeah,
it's something like that. Well, we're going to give you more
Yeah.
specific dates. I could be wrong because we're just starting to put this together. We just had one meeting, and it was they were trying to put this festival together, featuring a lot of Detroit headlining DJs in Toledo outside. What's the place called again? You said it's a great place.
Glass City.
Glass
It's
City.
their
Yeah,
campus
so
marsh. It's their campus marsh's riverfront area.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures of it. It's gorgeous, and it's outside. It's on the river, and it's going to be.
Me and my buddy went there for. They do ice skating in the winter. It's one of the coolest ice skating rinks I've been to.
Right, and they're doing it for charity. So the money that they raise, and I want to bring him on before that they do this event, and I'm probably going to head over there to see it, and we'll probably try to interview some people. I know Mike Clark, Agent X, he's going to be there. He's an old friend of mine. So we're going to do stuff like that. So, we are trying to put a lot of things together in a short amount of time, but we've been working on it for over a year now. And
tomorrow I'll be at the TV Lounge for Movement Appreciation Day. I might be going out. I might be going to this pool party 3 hours away with a bunch of DJs. I don't forgot what it was, but I got to at least show my face out everywhere to see what's going on in the scene.
Right, you're going to be at South Haven if you go there, and
that's early. That's early in the morning. I'm planning on maybe I don't know, but Movement Appreciation Day tomorrow. TV Lounge, Stacy Poland, free at TV Lounge. Starts at 8 o'clock. So
get some camera.
Pax a House event. Should be a pretty good one. Get there early. You say don't get there early. Get there early this time because it's free. Everybody will be coming in because
yeah.
Usually they charge $20 cover places, But I'd recommend getting there early. It is a Thursday though, so who knows?
Right. So,
but
well, anyway, so let me just finish this part because I'm just winging it. I'm just playing with buttons. We wanted to test it. That's why we're doing this in the random part of. We didn't even start on an official time. Let's say we've been on for 23 minutes, and it's almost 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, and that's just part of what we're doing. We've never ever officially launched this page yet, and I just decided, you know what, hell with it. Let's just do it and see how it works. Because if I wait any longer, I'll be dead. And it'll be nice.
Does it say I can't on my end? Does it say how many people are watching right now or no?
No. I mean, what I've learned is that the algorithm, it could show like 12 people and maybe 200 people.
Right.
So I don't know because one person can feed and bleed into somebody else's algorithm, and then that's how it works. But it is being recorded, and we will showcase it, and hopefully they can whittle through all the little things that we've been talking about.
Let's give everyone a wrap up of what Dance Party is going to be all about and what your vision is and my vision of it is and what we're looking for in the next year or two or whatever.
You want me to start or you want to start?
I'll start. So we really want these local DJs. We really want to help promote you guys. We're not here to do it for that much money. We're just here to bring the scene awareness and get people out and attending all these events out there because music brings everyone together, and we want to see everyone out dancing, and you know, we want to capture some of the moments of people out and about at these clubs or at these venues. We want to see what you're doing. That's where I'm at with it.
Oh, that was well said. I just to add a little bit to it, and then we'll be done. It's just simple. I mean, you said basically most of it. But if you are an artist, you are a producer, you're a DJ that's up and coming, or just starting out, but tried to. I mean, we're trying to vet most of the DJs that come in, and if they've got a particular skill or a list of music or some kind of really unique talent, we want to hear from you. And if you know somebody out there, great. Same thing with it could be a singer that maybe on somebody's
Right.
song, want to be
It
on
doesn't
somebody's
have to
song.
just be dance. It doesn't have to be dance music. It can be any kind of music too.
Right. And then the venues and the festivals and any kind of event like that, let us know and we'll come and be part of it. And if we can't be there directly for whatever reasons,
Mhm.
we can do it remotely. And,
And
it's just keep.
sorry for interrupting you again 1,000 times, but what you just said is everyone else can be our ambassador too, and you can send in your footage from the events you go to. We don't
Right.
have to be there. This is what this whole page is about for everyone.
Yeah.
If I
You-
can't attend, Chris can't attend, you got a phone, you can film it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we want to share whatever it's on. I mean,
Right.
technology allows us, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch or something, or you want to send us some music or a clip of a video, we can put it on there.
Right.
You can do it yourself. I mean, it's something where even if you aren't an artist and you want to come and find out, and let's say you used to go to the clubs, you want to just be part of that community, come on, come and join us. If you're not old enough to go to it, or you can't afford to go to some of those venues or clubs or whatever, come and join us. I mean, it's like that's all of our podcasts, and you might learn something even if it's not your maybe it's not your favorite kind of music. But if I've learned that if you expose people to enough information, visually and otherwise, people might go, "Wow, I never really thought about it. I really kind of like this." Same thing with Nashville. Some people weren't into country and country rock or whatever, and when you go down there, you start to pick it up. That's why country's become so big in Detroit, Motown. We're the EDM capital. We're from Motown. We've got Bob Seger, Kid Rock, and Kid Rock's in Nashville. But the
Yeah, he
point
just
is,
opened that
music
bar
becomes
over
a little
there.
bit right. The Detroit Cowboy. But so this is just one vehicle because millions of people go to these venues every single week, all over the world, especially here in Detroit
Right.
and every major city. Number two is that a lot of people really aren't familiar with all the artists and all the inner workings, and hopefully we're one of those vehicles that do it. And if other people start doing what we're doing or have been doing what we're doing, hey, we're just another vehicle to provide that information, and
And I know
hopefully the
Chris
people
wants
that
to
have
show
never
the
been
back,
interviewed or haven't been.
and I know you
Go
also
ahead.
want to show the person that does like the lights and stuff. Like you want to show the background end of it also, that people don't see an eye of that.
Yeah, whatever.
You
Yeah,
come, you come to these
absolutely.
venues and you just the DJ's there. You don't know what goes into the night before, how they get to that point. And we'd love to also show that point of it too.
Right. Yeah, we know a lot of people in the background. I mean, Jared Roberts, Ryan Richards, Don Hudson, the list goes on. There's people that put these scaffolds, these staging, the lighting, the video, the LED walls, pyrotechnics, the cryogenics. I mean, all or whatever they call it. It's all that stuff goes in play by other people that aren't necessarily
Right.
DJs or musicians. They're people that bring that show to life, and we want to that part too. And those same people work on other festivals as well. They might work in rock and roll or alternative or even classic music and uh, Broadway shows. So, and I know people like that. And so, yeah, we want to bring you a little bit of that. Some of it may be interesting to you, some of it may not, but it's going to be fun. We want it to be family and we want it to be a community spirit. So, we're trying to create all these different genres. We're not spreading ourselves too thin. It's like having a kitchen, as I tell people when they ask me that. I said, sometimes you're cooking Italian food, sometimes you're cooking Mexican food, sometimes you're cooking pizza and hot dogs. that's just what it is. You're using the same kitchen, same stove, sink, microwave, food processor. That's what we have. We have the same equipment. We just do it differently. And I know Nashville. I know music. I know dance music. So, and that's why, Vinny's on here. One more thing, we'll even bleed into the other one that we do. We have Dash Talk, which is about Detroit. It's kind of a spinoff of Dash Talk. And we'll interview anybody. We'll interview Dan Gilbert. We'll interview the Pistons. We'll interview somebody that owns a street vending food cart.
Or else I'll show people places that they won't even expect.
Yeah, he loves doing that. He's going to take me to the train station and we're going to go inside of it. We're going to do that. And some of them are going to overlap. Some of them are going to overlap in the dance party. Sometimes they're going to overlap in the Misfits. Misfits is about unique people, past and present. And, you may be a misfit. You could be the most glamorous person in the world, but you have this one gift. We don't see the behind the scenes. You're doing a food bank or a blood drive or just something to bring awareness to the city or anywhere. And we want to interview you too, because we want those people, those unsung heroes that don't get enough exposure, that don't get enough time on front of the camera or on print. We want to bring that into you as well. I don't think there's enough people doing that. So hopefully we bring that to life too. And hopefully, and it doesn't matter where you are. Even if you don't have to be from Detroit. You could be from
China,
the middle of Georgia.
Japanese.
You could be in the middle of anywhere where there's the internet.
Dubai.
Like I said, if you have a way to present it to us, anywhere. It could be anywhere. You could be in your car, your truck, the beach. But hopefully we can get you in a stable environment where the reception comes in really good. We can hear you. It's not breaking up too much, because we don't want to do you any injustice. That's always my worst fear. It's like being a DJ. When the record would skip or the CD would stop or the computer would close. I mean, I always had backup. Luckily, that never really happened to me, but I've heard the nightmares. I've seen it. And so I always like to be a perfectionist.
I can't believe how simple this was, though. Just
like that you.
I couldn't believe how simple it was. All I did was press the link.
Oh, interrupt it. Sorry, that's.
Sorry, I couldn't believe how simple it was for anyone that doesn't think they could. It was simple. All you do, click the link, you put your name down. That's it. It's simple. So if you're afraid that you won't be able to your computer, or I was personally a skeptic myself. I was like, is it going to work? Is this going to be, But no, it's simple. Don't be afraid. Just click the link. We're not trying to sell you something. We're trying to help everyone out while we're helping ourselves out. And if you know anyone personally, if anybody's watching there, I'm talking to you, talking to whoever's watching personally. If you know anyone that can help us personally, please give Chris a message or myself a message, because we can't do this thing without you guys, sharing it and expanding it from there. We can get these interviews, we can go everywhere, but if it's not for you guys, there wouldn't be, there wouldn't be Dance Party. There wouldn't be anything. So we need your guys' support as much as possible. We'll try our best to put content out there, and we want to hear from you.
Yep.
That's what we're here for.
And just a side note, I'm always, he met me watching my own personal interviews from many years ago. And then we just started talking when I was in Nashville last year. And that's how we became, friends. And we talked almost every single day since. And, now I'm at the point where he'll critique my idea and I'll critique him. And sometimes we're not yelling at each other, but like if we don't agree with each other, we let each other have it. So because we want it done the best way possible. Right. We know that there's a lot of cynics and critics out there, and people that may not be as supportive of what we're trying to do. That's why we're covering a lot of gambits. And it's not, to be honest with you, it's not that difficult. I mean, we're not seasoned professionals that have done this or aspired to be podcasters or anything like that. We just want to share stories. It's about you. It's your show. And the people watching, we want them to be interested for as long as we're on. And we don't expect people to watch all the way through. If they get 5-10 minutes of a show, then, good. And if they get an extra 5 minutes and they get hooked, then that's even better.
Because isn't people's attention spans like, isn't people's attention spans Isn't people's attention spans less than 30 seconds nowadays?
15 seconds.
15 seconds. If we can at least get, if
That's
we
right.
at least
So,
get
anyway,
15 seconds of your,
right.
if we get 15 seconds of your time every day or wherever, we would appreciate it. But yeah, we're just here, dance party. We want to check. We want the next DJs. We want to see the venues. We just want to be there for everyone. So, anything else, Chris?
Absolutely. No, well, that's what the catchphrase I came up with, dance party. Usually there's a caption that says where the world comes to party. And it might be redundant since we already say dance party, but it really is. I want and when I came up with the idea, we didn't have the technology, and I had a lot of money back then, more than I have now. And I said, what is it going to take for everybody to be able to see this all at once from all over the world? They didn't have that technology when we started this at all for years. Now we have it. And if this thing turns into something bigger, I'm just going to keep, making it bigger, whether it's a hobby, or it's just for fun. But I know that this is what the music scene needs, and hopefully it doesn't become the same old thing over and over and over and over. It becomes fun. I want the personal stories. I want the technical stories. I want the bad sides. I want the sides that went wrong. So somebody goes, "Oh my God, that happened to me too. What did he do? What'd she do? How they fix it,
Right.
and stuff like that." So that's real life. So that's it. So tell your friends. We're going to come back, and then we're going to slowly get. Every time we're going to get bigger and better and better and better. That's what DJs do. They build up their library of music. They learn more skills. They get better at certain things. They add more equipment, and they learn from mistakes live and in front of an audience. So that's what we're going to do.
This is our only.
That's how I started it. With the
this is
DJ
our
skills
second
that I
show.
had
Me and you
to do this.
This is only the second show me and you've done together. Like,
Yep.
I know I interrupt you 1,000 times, but
Right.
it's only going to get better.
He does. See, that's why I got to come with a disclaimer. You know how they have those disclaimers? There's gonna be some
he will interrupt you.
And a lot of interruptions.
I told you that should be the next song, interruptions.
You know what? I know that. Yeah, you did. The thing is that he's very enthusiastic about certain things, and he sees it from a different point of view. He sees it from the audience point of view, and I see it from the stage point of view. So that's where we kind of met in the middle. And he's a really great guy. You do. You mean well. You're always, every morning he calls me. He's always positive. He's always very supportive, even when he's trying to give me his critical viewpoints. So that, and you could bring people like that on too. If there might be somebody in the audience who goes, we don't want any negative. Oh, you suck, or you this or that, because we know we're just going to turn you off. I mean, and we'll call you out. We just got to go.
Right.
We want positive.
Yeah. With this world,
negative.
the way
There's
the world
places you can go and pretend you're the same.
The way the world's going nowadays, we just want to bring some music brings people together. I don't care about your political views, yada yada yada. Yep. But music is the one that draws everyone together in the wrong things. It doesn't matter who you are. Everyone listens to the same track. You wouldn't, It doesn't matter. So we'll end it from here, or what?
We can go to the same best restaurant, 50 items on.
Right.
No, I was just going to say, you could have the same menu at the restaurant, 50 items, and you're still going to only pick, I don't care if you can afford the whole menu, you're still going to pick 4 or 5 things, and that's it, that you go to. We all have our own little flavors that we look for, and hopefully we bring a lot of color and flavor into this, and that's it. And if you have any ideas or suggestions how to make us better or to do something better, if you want to come on and be part of it, even if you're just somebody that's went to one venue, one event, or want to be something, come on in. We'll bring you on for fun. Why not?
Chris, what's the best way to
rules here except keep it positive? I hate negativity. Don't I hate negativity?
What's the best way to reach you though? On the Dance Party website?
What happened?
What's the best way to reach you on Facebook or on the Dance Party Facebook page?
Yeah. Yep. Or you can get me a Gmail. Let me see if I can type it in there.
Can you get a Gmail? Yeah.
Hold on. Let me think. Here. What's the next event that you're doing?
What?
Tomorrow, you said?
Probably.
Yeah,
I can't hear you well.
Are you breaking up on me?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see
Okay.
the danceparty.com.
All right, that
Yeah, there you go.
reach me right there. Yeah, I had to type it
And
in there, bro. Sorry about
before
that.
I leave, everyone press like, share,
And
even tell a neighbor or a stranger. Follow Dance Party's Facebook page. That's where you get all the information right now from.
yep. And yeah, we can't wait. We want you to be part of it. We want you to, we want you to tell all your friends and, just come back and have a great time with us. So that's all I've got. All right. So hope you guys have a great afternoon. And we may be doing this at 2:00 in the morning or something like that. We have no idea. It's one of those things I do anywhere 7 days a week.
You're gonna love it at 3:00 in the morning doing this stuff like at a club when the music's banging.
I saw people I know out there. I got to Keith, to Tina, to Phil, to Christine. Thank you guys for stopping by. And anybody else, welcome to danceparty.com.
Right.
Phil does come to party. And my co-host, sorry, that way. Big Shot Vince. Yeah, buddy. That's his catchphrase, right? So give me a big yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. Well, I guess a lot of heart rate there. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's it.
I can't see. Yeah, buddy. Where's the crickets? I lost the crickets. All right. Oh, there we go. I'm used to that. There we go.
Brother. All right.
All right. I'll see you.
Detroit time. The weather, storm's coming. Everything. Take shelter. All right. Be good. You got him. Is it raining outside?
Not yet. It's clear.
Okay.
It's,
I'm just asking because you're outside.
We're outside. It's clear. I don't know what else. All right. Well, I'll let you go.
Okay. Right.
What do I just press leave or how does this work?
Get up. Hell yeah.